you thinking about buying or selling a home or are a real estate professional and want to know what might be happening with Twin Cities real estate news, stats, and trends? Then come hang out with us for a little while. Hi, I'm Kirk Duckwall, and welcome to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Have Chad Priebe, Bell Bank in studio today. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks. Good to see you both.
You have a good holiday weekend.
It was. It was nice. You know, I was ready to come home, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I stayed home because of the weather.
Yeah, good idea.
Decided to sit back. Of course, we still got hit here.
Yeah, last night was nuts.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys on the north end got hit a little harder.
Yeah, the wind. I think we had some straight line winds, or what do they call them, flat line winds?
Something
like
that.
But it was
straight
a little
tornadoes.
Yeah, it was a little.
There was a tornado.
A little scary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Cass County, I think it was.
Oh, yeah. You know, I did see that in the paper. Yeah.
And there was like ping pong size hail.
I said
that's
paper.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I said I saw that in the
The
paper.
hail that hit our house was little pea pebble size.
I mean, my phone.
Right.
The
That's the paper now.
The paper.
Right.
But the hail that hit our house was like pea size, but it did take out some of our garden.
Mm.
Bummed about that. Mm-hmm.
That's too bad.
And that's Jilly on the
Yeah,
mic over
it's
there.
me, Jilly. I'm back.
Thank you for coming in.
Good to see you.
Back feeling better now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good.
So
Yep.
kind of a fun show we're going to do here today, as I gave you guys no clue as to what the topic actually
We're
is
going to
gonna
wing
be.
it.
I like it.
So, I suppose I should say it since we have people watching. Okay, so today's show, it's going to be about real estate exaggerations and misconceptions. So you can ponder on that while
There's
we
a
kind of
lot.
knock through the
Wow. Yeah,
the
I like
news
it.
and stats. Yes, so some good things we're going to talk about there. Get people really ready for the market and things that are good to know when jumping in. Because if you think about these things in the way that a lot of people do, you might set yourself up for some disappointment. So
I like it.
next segment, we'll kind of dive into that. But as far as what's happening in our Twin Cities market right now, got some interesting movements happening out there in the market.
Jumped ahead sooner than we thought by, was it like a week or two?
Yeah, about 2 weeks based on what I was thinking. We saw a pretty big influx in listings, which I kind of knew looking at some of the early data was coming, but I just didn't think pendings would hold back as much as they did. So new listings, Twin Cities real estate market, for the week of May 14th up to the week of May 21st, went from 1,906 up to 2,000, which is a pretty big mark as far as listings coming into
What
the
we've
marketplace.
been seeing, yeah.
Yeah, and for the Memorial holiday, that did drop off quite a bit.
That's the norm.
Yep. So I think we're going to see numbers closer to 1,200. So we may see pending sales outpace for Memorial Week, which wouldn't surprise me. Might bring our inventory back a hair, potentially. But yeah, talking about pending sales, we kind of had been tracking behind last year, and we still are, but that gap has closed a little bit. Last few weeks, it was down by 10% and then down by 18% in comparison to last year. But this previous week, it was down by 8.57. So pending sales are moving a little faster than a few weeks ago. We saw a couple really interesting gaps there in pending sales, which is something we did not see last year, and that was like late April, a big drop off, and that helped close the gap in inventory. And then middle of May, a big gap in comparison to last year, where it was kind of ticking along without much movement as far as change, just pending sales going strong. Right. Where this year it's been, I think, a lot more volatile on where rates stand.
Yeah.
For sure. Do you guys see any maybe some lift in inventory with the school year coming to an end? People were maybe waiting on that to happen. Now they're looking to maybe make a move now.
I think that jump up to 2,000 listings into the marketplace is showing that, right? And even though new listings had been down and still are down overall. They're down 3.3% in comparison to last year. When you're talking about pending sales being down by 9.6%, and that's the 3-month average.
Okay.
We're seeing that inventory close. So to your point, Jilly, you were saying that we have seen us pass ahead of where we were last year early, and that's exactly what happened. The week of the 21st, we were at 6,236, jumped up to 6,626. So, for buyers, I hope that trend continues, and we see that inventory picking up should make life a lot easier for buyers out there who have been patiently waiting.
Right.
It's kind of interesting you bring up the point of having more come on the market because of school seasonality too. I wonder if Minneapolis will have, specifically just Minneapolis proper, have a bump more than they would for inventory
like late
coming
June?
on because of this teacher strike.
Yeah.
School got extended for
That'd be neat
Minneapolis.
to track that, actually.
Yeah, that'd be
see if that
interesting.
is-
Well,
Kirk.
there you got that's your homework, Jilly.
You're the stats guy.
Well, I will say this. Over the last 2 weeks, I've seen more accepted offers
Okay,
over
good.
the last 2 weeks, and we've seen a lot of the year. Should say average, but that's good news. Kind of what Kirk's saying is, if you've been patient, I think your patience is going to pay off for you.
Well, and I think one of the big things out there and some of the pain that's felt by buyers, they're weighing out in their head, well, geez, if I would have bought back in February, I would have gotten that interest rate that was at 3.5 or something like that versus now you were saying 5 1/8, and we'll talk about that more in a second. But on the same hand, I'm seeing buyers now getting homes for $20,000 to $50,000 less than that same home might have cost them 2 or 3 months ago.
Right.
So, your payment might be higher by a couple $100 a month, but on the same hand, you have $50,000 less dollars that you're going to owe on that house.
And
Right.
your down payment was less up front.
Yep. And
Co-
so,
cost to
Good
close
points.
is less up front.
yep. So, that's something to definitely, and we'll see the numbers that are going to back this data that will come out
Yep.
as far as pricing. And as this spread continues, that'll make it easier and easier. Talking about interest rates, they've been trending down,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
Got up to close to 5.5, and now.
Yeah, I was going to say, what did you kind of see it peak at?
Well, I saw it peak at about 5.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a little higher in certain credit situations or property types. But, there was talk about inflation easing a little bit, and that brought some of the, took some stress off the bond market. We saw some rates coming down. I just read this morning on the Mortgage Market Guide that they're talking about inflation fears again, which is bringing the bond market back up. So that's volatility, right?
Right.
And what they're talking about is worldwide inflation fears,
Yeah.
which is going to drive fear.
Right.
Into the economy, into the markets, and so we're playing that quick up and down the market. We're seeing it right now. My recommendation, you guys, if you have an accepted offer, if your loan officer's going over what the rates are and you're happy with that payment, lock it in.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you. And,
Yeah.
and my inflation predictor thing that I've put
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
Or not rates predictor.
Correct.
It's showing that it'll likely go back up.
Yeah.
Rates will move back up, and I'm seeing, would not be surprised to see high 5s by late in the year.
I agree with that.
Every lender I've been talking to has really said we're going to end the year like maybe 5.5%, 6%.
Well, we're going to
Has
take a
been the
quick
estimate.
commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about real estate exaggerations. Our local sponsors are BRIX Real Estate, Network Title, Eric Bloomstrad and Chad Priebe with Bell Bank Mortgage, Structure Tech Home Inspections, James Tufson with Country Financial, along with Cregan's Construction and Grey Duck Staging and Design.
Hi, I'm Ruben with Structure Tech Home Inspections. Everyone knows you should have a home inspection before you buy a home, but we've heard of home buyers being encouraged to skip the home inspection in this crazy market to make their purchase offer more attractive. Now they're facing tens of thousands of dollars in unexpected repairs. I'm telling you now, don't skip the home inspection. Here at Structure Tech, we can get your home inspected quickly, and we offer a full line of services. Visit us online at structuretech.com to learn more.
Don't fall for the billboards or the clickbait. There is no such thing as today's rate. Mortgages and mortgage rates are individual to you. Chad Priebe and Eric Bloomstrand with Bell Bank Mortgage are here to show you the formula to get your best rate. Once you know this formula, you can mortgage shop with confidence. Find us online at chadpriebe.com. That is chadpriebe.com. NMLS 1462493, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Kirk Duckwall with BRIX Real Estate and the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Buying or selling a home is one of the biggest financial transactions people make. Before you make your next move, download our free Smart Home Buyer or Smart Seller guides to give you the edge in our real estate market. From deal hunting to knowing the right repairs for maximizing value, these free guides have it all. Check them out and more at BRIXTwinCities.com under publications. Welcome back to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Today, revealing the topic, exaggerations, misconceptions. My two guests had no idea what the show was going to be.
I like
It was
it.
fun, though.
A lot
Yeah.
of them. Yeah.
We were talking about interest rates and where they might be going. I'm going to just kind of jump right to this one. So again, talking about real estate exaggerations, misconceptions, and the misconception of picking your lender by just shopping rate.
Yeah, very risky.
Yeah.
And I don't, and I'm not here to say.
And I
who
know you
doesn't.
could talk about this, just
Yeah.
so you know. I know you can talk about this for
Yeah.
the entire 11-minute segment.
least.
I'm giving you 3 minutes.
3 minutes. That's even pretty. That's pretty nice. Thank you. Well, there's a lot of things when you're shopping for a lender. Obviously, rate's important to you, but the quality of service you're being provided is ultimately the most important thing. And getting your client to the closing table on time. Rate, there's a formula. We talk about this a lot in our home buying classes.
Yeah.
There's a formula to get to that interest rate. You know, we have to determine your
You
down
mean
payment.
you mean the formula is not look at a billboard or click on a thing on your Facebook saying you can get a rate of 3.5%?
Right. Yeah. Don't fall for that. That probably is a rate out there, but there's gonna be a lot of cost to that.
Right.
Every person is different, like we talk about as well. There's no one perfect loan. There's no one best loan.
Right.
It's what works best for you.
It's
And
very individual.
It is individual based, and you know the person you're working with, as far as the loan officer, their availability to you, morning through evening, 7 days a week, is something that I'd be.
Do you have their
asking
cell
about.
phone number?
You have to have their cell phone number. You're looking at houses on the evenings and on the weekends, most likely. If you or your real estate agent cannot get a hold of them, you're not writing an offer.
Yeah, you got a problem. You know,
You got a problem.
So I think, one of the things, I mean, once you have your formula, is looking at rate part of this calculation? Absolutely. But also, how likely are they to get to the closing table? I mean, I just had a transaction where a big bank, got us all the way to a week out from closing, and they go, no, we can't do it. Right?
Yikes.
Yeah.
And so it didn't matter what that rate was. It didn't matter how great that rate was. They didn't get to the closing table, and now there's a cost to that.
Yep.
There's
Your
an
buyer
extremely
could lose the sale.
So
Yep.
that 0.25% or whatever they might have been getting as a deal up front,
right.
now rates have moved enough that
yeah.
that had they taken the little higher rate to know they were going with somebody who can get to the closing table, it's going to cost them a lot more money than that. So,
Right.
following the formula, you want to go over what that formula is.
I do, yeah. So the formula to get to that rate is going to be based on your down payment.
Yep.
Excuse me. Down payment, what type of loan you're going with, whether FHA, conventional, VA. What type of mortgage insurance are you going to choose, right? And then what type of property are you going with? And once we figure all of that out, we can then talk about what rates are going to go with that
And
specific
what term?
and
How long?
term, excuse me, that's huge, the term.
Whether you're doing
Can
a
you explain
7-1.
what term is?
Yep.
A lot of listeners might not know what that
Yep,
means.
the term is the length of the loan. So if you're going to do a 10-year, 15-year, 20 or 30-year loan. That's
and 30 is kind of the norm that we're used to, right? But I've been seeing a lot of people talk about 15 and a lot of ARMs coming back in too.
Yeah.
There is. So the ARM products, that's something that you want to consider. The interest rates on whatever ARM you're looking at, whether it's a 7 or 10-year ARMs, that's the company I work for. We offer the 7 and 10. The interest rate is about a full % lower than their 30-year traditional rate. So, but these are all conversations you want to be having with your loan officer, and that's part of the formula to get to the rate.
Yeah, so I'm gonna. Man, you're gonna get a ton of time in this show today.
Cool.
We love hearing Chad talk about money.
I want to buy a house. I'm a buyer. I want to buy a house, and I want to take advantage of the first-time home buyer credit. I hear this regularly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, is there a first-time home buyer credit?
There is. So basically, if you're a first-time home buyer, this is all based on your income.
Right.
Okay. Income as far as, so they look at the median income in your area that you're purchasing, and you have to make 80% of the median income. Okay. To qualify for most of these first-time home buyer programs. And that does, Freddie Mac has a Home Possible loan. Fannie Mae has the Home Ready loan. The interest rates are a little bit lower, and your mortgage insurance premium is cheaper. But you have to be under that 80% AMI.
Well, and these are products, but the point I was kind of getting to was the first-time home buyer, like that tax credit, the eight grand or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
These are not government credits.
Correct. Yeah. So what I always recommend for people when you're filing your taxes, when you're a first-time home buyer, I do recommend maybe stop using the automated online tax services.
Right.
Go visit and sit down with a CPA, because they're going to be able to go over all those tax credits with you. I know enough to maybe be a little dangerous on that topic. You know what I mean? As far as when it comes to taxes, I always say, you know what, talk to your CPA. They're going to be able to learn the ins and outs on that.
But danger's your middle name.
Well, then the next one is the idea of pricing. This one's kind of for sellers. And it's like, well, hey, if I'm at 300 or if I'm at 400,000, let's price it at 399, right? Or price it at 299.
Strategy. Yeah.
And so, and it's the idea, it visually looks better, but that I call it the dollar that could cost you 10,000. So yes, visually people may see that, it's the something at the store is on sale for 99 cents versus $1, right? It just looks better.
Right.
But at the end of the day, computer searches, especially, your MLS searches and whatnot, they pick up that difference. They pick up the difference of that $1.
Buyers shop by bracket.
Right. And so you can have this opportunity to pick up 2 brackets if you price dead on the mark at 300, dead on the mark at 200, or dead on the mark at 400, whatever it may be. Because now anybody looking up to 300 is going to see it, and anybody looking 300 on up is going to see it.
Right.
Now, I say it's the dollar that could cost you 10,000. Really, what you want to be doing is if you're coming up with an analysis and you're coming up with a 290 or a 310, you may want to consider 300. Right? Because the power of that many extra eyeballs. Now, I will say you want to make sure you're running your showing activity in your area to make sure that there's enough out there to pull this off if you're going to go on the lower side. And as we're seeing a changing market, sometimes doing that, it's possible you may leave money on the table. It's possible you might not, but you really want to look at those data points. So, this one is flipping it back around to buyers, and that is, before I make an offer, I want to get the house inspected. Have you run into that, Jilly?
Well, yes. I mean, I don't necessarily suggest that for my clients.
Right.
Some cases, that might be your only option to know you're getting the safest purchase you can. I have had good luck this year with getting clients inspections.
Right.
Because working with BRIX, learned a lot of tricks of the trade that maybe other agents aren't using in writing their offers to make them competitive, including that inspection.
Guarantee, yeah.
I am very, very strongly encourage clients to do inspections. Maybe if it's a condo that might not be as big
Yeah,
of
I
a
was kind
concern.
of referring more to,
Yeah.
and so you're right that the buyers may do an inspection on a walkthrough kind of inspection, which we've seen that
Walkthrough inspections, great if that's the best you can do and you want to buy that house to be competitive. But a well-learned agent can probably tell you the exact same thing that a walkthrough inspector could.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing anything digging. They're not going up in the attic. They're not opening up any seals, accesses. They're not taking the panel off. They are doing a walkthrough. It's going to take them 20 to 30 minutes max is usually what a seller will even allow for that to happen.
Well, yeah, and the waiving inspection piece, I'm pretty much taking that off the table, especially with where our market is.
Right.
This was kind of more or less the buyer that they get the idea in their head before we make an offer. We're going to do this, and
you're going to end up spending thousands of dollars and not getting a house.
Right. So
Yeah.
Minnesota's set up so you put your offer forward first, and then if your offer is accepted, then you go into the inspection contingency, the due diligence period.
Yep.
This gives you the time to make that decision, to look through
Yeah.
that. Because
And have a thorough inspection done.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to know anything about the sewer line doing a walkthrough inspection. And guess what? Sewer lines are a huge issue that we're seeing up. I mean, most of our metro sewer lines are 100 years old. Let's get
The
real.
infrastructure's
They're
old.
they're showing some wear and tear. And you're not going to have the chance to do any type of radon testing. You
Yep.
know, that takes at least 48 hours to do. Is it worth it? In my opinion, no. But if it gives your buyer a sense of security that they had something in order to buy that property because of the competition, I mean, you have to call up the seller's agent and even find out if they'll allow you to do it. Because to do the walkthrough inspection, you can't have other buyers generally in there.
Right.
Are they going to let you turn away buyers that might want to put an offer in too? So you
could use that to your advantage. Just, look at all the mold.
Yeah.
No. All right, we got to take a quick commercial break. Make sure you check us out at TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. Also, if you have any questions or need assistance with buying or selling, you can submit those on there as well. We'll be right back.
Not every title company is the same. There are many people involved with each real estate transaction, and all of them need to be in the loop or a closing may get delayed. This is why the people at Network Title strive to provide swift scheduling and communication between the buyers, sellers, agents, and lenders. We know moving can be stressful, however, your closing does not need to be. Check us out online at network-title.com.
My name is James Tobson with Country Financial. Anyone can sell you insurance. However, is it going to be the insurance you need? When life pops up with its surprises, you want the right coverage. When it comes time to find or renew your policy, give me a call. I would love to review your existing policy and show you what I can do for you. You can email me at james.tobson@countryfinancial.com or give me a call at 651-365-3408.
Hi, I'm Becca, owner of Grey Duck Staging. With today's home buyers beginning their journey exclusively online, the look and feel of your home matters more than ever. Whether it's a simple in-home consultation, a refresh using your current furniture, or a whole home staging, our goal is always the same: showing your home in the best light and helping you achieve the highest sales price possible. To learn more, visit us at greyduckstaging.com or check us out on Instagram at greyduckstaging.
Welcome back to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Jilly, you were just asking me what we're going to talk about in the last 3 minutes. I'm going to talk
sorry.
about something I didn't cover in the first segment, and that's where our market meter and our showings per listing is. So in the last 5 weeks, we've dropped off over 40% in showing activity in the Twin Cities. This is all everybody's showing activity, basically.
Yeah.
And, it continues to move. A couple weeks ago, we were at the 6.07 average showings per listing, 250 to 500K price range is what somebody would experience in a week. That's down to a 5.86 now. And this is putting our market meter as saying it's moving quickly. And remember, it's really a scale that's from 0 to 10. So, even a 1 point movement, or one movement is 10%. So, we've gone from this 10 on the market meter just 2 weeks ago down to an 8.98. Now, this is still a strong seller's market in comparison to,
Right.
what we normally experience in the Twin Cities. But part of it is we've experienced not normal for the last 2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So this feels a lot slower. Even though a lot of homes are still going into multiple offers, it's a lot slower. And we're seeing that inventory surpassing last year's inventory.
I wanted to ask Chad this when you were talking about rates, is if you kind of feel like a little bit of deja vu of when COVID shutdown first hit and there was such a dramatic issue with rates and changes in lending.
Slowed
and,
everything
and
way
everything.
down.
Like my clientele just died off for 3 months.
Yeah.
No,
But-
I wouldn't say. I mean, I think that was the initial reaction a little bit. It was like, take a breath. I mean, most of the buyers I'm seeing now are jumping in, like full.
Oh,
full
I guess
grip.
I mean more like the rate fluctuation and the lending changes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it was so unknown to everybody what was going on that it was such a jerk reaction, right? Like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Are we the world ending or what? I think we've all been a little more prepared for that now. And most people that have bought in a house before, whether you're buying your second, third, or fourth house, these interest rates we're dealing with today
They're not
are
so
right
bad
in
to
line
them,
with what you're used to. So not that bad overall.
it's very close to what I bought my house at.
Correct. Yep.
Well, the show flew by again. Made
Yeah,
it through
it
about
does.
half of the things I wanted to this week. I'd like to thank both of you for coming in again.
Thank
you,
you.
Kirk.
Love
Yeah.
The
doing it.
surprise show.
I like that.
You can check out all of our past shows at TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. Also, our free publications, The Smart Home Buyer, The Smart Seller Guide. You can submit questions or show ideas, or you can give me a call directly if you have a question, 651-303-0019. We'll be back again next week. Take care, everyone. People always ask realtors, what is your commission? But what they should be asking is, what is your rate of return? Commissions only vary by a couple of percent from agent to agent. However, the price per square foot you get just based on their experience and the quality of marketing they use can vary by 10% or more. At BRIX Real Estate, our agents use the right marketing and have the experience to get you top dollar for your house. See what we can do for you at BRIXTwinCities.com.
Not every title company is the same. There are many people involved with each real estate transaction, and all of them need to be in the loop or a closing may get delayed. This is why the people at Network Title strive to provide swift scheduling and communication between the buyers, sellers, agents, and lenders. We know moving can be stressful, however, your closing does not need to be. Check us out online at network-title.com.
Don't forget to check us out online anytime at TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. There you can find all of our past shows, our weekly market updates, along with the latest and greatest searching and researching tools, and our free publications to include the Smart Home Buyer Guide and the Smart Seller Guide, along with the BRIX Report. All of these free for you. If you have any real estate questions, please feel free to give us a call, 651-303-0019. Again, 651-303-0019. Happy to help answer any of your real estate questions or assist with your real estate needs.